radar. Can't catch us now or catch us later. Climbing on these bitches with the frequency disguise, while they're searching high and staying low and staying wise. Shout out to the weed that keeps the crew's mind right, broadcasting bangers through the darkness of the night. Ain't no satellite can track a mobile station, build a revolution through sound manipulation. Encrypted channels, yeah, we're running shit proper. SJR crew, bet your ass we're fucking proper. That's the warning when the vans roll through. Quick disconnect, 20 minutes, we move smooth. Underground forever, that's the fucking master plan. Signals bouncing coast to coast across this fucking land. Stay off that hip-hop radar. Signals moving like a fucking traitor. We stay off that hip-hop radar. Can't catch us now or catch us later. Insane in the brain, how we dodge detection. Switch frequencies with perfect fucking intersection. My posse's got it down to mathematical precision, while your weak ass station stuck in repetition. That's the sound of revolution. Underground transmission's our only solution. Hip-hop radar can't track what we transmit. SDR crews, the realest fucking cow. Stay off that hip-hop radar. Signals moving like a fucking traitor. We stay off that hip-hop radar. Can't catch us now or catch us later.
Trouble about to get money.
Welcome to the dark ages. Welcome to the dark ages. Let's ride. Welcome to the dark ages. Time slip where the past and future rage. Pulled up to the tavern in my time machine. Got the whole crew blazed on medieval green. Rasputin in the corner throwing down spells, while jade trees floating higher than church bells. Caitlin got the peasants learning how to twerk. Rose got kings and queens all doing dirty work. Ancient wisdom mixed with modern day insane. SJR crew about to make history change. Welcome to the dark ages. Welcome to the dark ages. Let's ride. Welcome to the dark ages. I'm slip where the past and future rage. Signals cross the Uncle Patriot had a brawl. Big Kahuna will turned up and whore cups. Hard party with the rude jesters break it. We ain't leaving till the whole place lit. Medieval time, this shit. Welcome to the dark ages. Let's ride. Welcome to the dark ages. I flip where the past and future rage. Past to future, future to past. SJR crew making history last. Time traveling rebels on a medieval high, taking over castles as we pass by. Got these monks up in the monastery twisted. Every scroll they writing got our names listed, making medieval moments. Psycho, sick, demonic, taking over kingdoms one by one, teaching ancient people how to have some fun. History books won't tell it like we do. Dark ages get lit with the SJR crew. Welcome to the dark ages. Welcome to the dark ages. Let's ride. Welcome to the dark ages. I'll slip where the past and future rage. Welcome to the dark ages. Welcome to the dark ages. Let's ride. Welcome to the
get money.
Welcome to the Dark Ages. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Let's ride. Welcome to the Dark Ages. I'm Slit, where the past and future rage. Pulled up to the tavern in my time machine. Got the whole crew blazed on medieval green. Rasputin in the corner throwing down spells, while jade trees floating higher than church bells. Caitlin got the peasants learning how to twerk. Rose got kings and queens all doing dirty work. Ancient wisdom mixed with modern day insane. SJR crew about to make history change. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Let's ride. Welcome to the Dark Ages. I'm Slim, where the past and future rage. Nick blowing smoke signals cross the castle walls. Uncle Patriot teaching knights how to brawl. Big Kahuna got the round table turned up. KD and Jorge got the mead cups. Hard Coast crashed the party with that future tech. Rube Knock got jesters breaking their neck. We ain't leaving till the whole place lit. Medieval times ain't ready for this shit. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Let's ride. Welcome to the Dark Ages. I'm Slim, where the past and future rage. Past to future, future to past. SJR crew making history last. Time traveling rebels on a medieval high, taking over castles as we pass by. Got these monks up in the monastery twisted. Every scroll they writing got our names listed. Making medieval moments turn psychotic. Crew so sick they thought we were demonic. Taking over kingdoms one by one. Teaching ancient people how to have some fun. History books won't tell it like we do. Dark Ages get lit with the SJR crew. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Let's ride. Welcome to the Dark Ages. I'm Slim, where the past and future rage. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Welcome to the Dark Ages. Let's ride. Welcome to the Dark Ages. I'm Slim, where the past and future rage.
Broadcasting live from somewhere you can't find. SJR crew coming at you raw and unrefined. On the ground.
In my lane, you acting funny like it's some kind of game. State it up, sir, in front of my name. I keep my head up, keep getting better. Dope this rap god, I'm going platinum again. You acting funny like it's some kind of game. State it up, sir, in front of my name. Dominating your domicile, in and out just like a robbery. Call the cops now.
Well, welcome everybody to Let the Record Spin, episode number 3.
Oh, you tiki now? Go ahead, light your torch.
Hip Hop Radar Underground Show.
Let go. Sit back, relax, don't go act a fool. We gon' puff some weed and keep on acting cool. I'm on that chill shit, always keeping it real shit. The vibes going up like the smoke in the room, cause
It's the Hip Hop Radar Underground Show. This the Hip Hop Radar Underground Show.
Yo, SGR crew, welcome back to Hip Hop Radar Underground. I am Sack Juggalo, and today we got the VIP herself, Soultree, in the house. Soultree, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing beautiful today. It's a beautiful Sunday in LA, and I couldn't be more grateful to just be here and share about music and share about healing with y'all.
Absolutely. We are grateful for your time. Let everybody know a little bit about yourself, where you come from, and maybe a little bit how you got into music.
Yeah. So I'm from the Philippines. I was born there and I grew up in the Marshall Islands. It's a country in the Pacific in Micronesia. And I grew up on the capital, Majuro, from years 1991 till 2001. So I was there for the first 10 years of my life. And then I ended up in the United States from Arkansas to Chicago and now LA. And what got me into music was really being in a family that migrated. We really connected with music of all kinds, to help us, just celebrate and be together as a family, and to bring other people together, other families from the island together. And Filipino people are known to love to sing, and both secular and sacred music, whether it's in the church or karaoke in the streets. And so
And food.
I and food. We have so
Music
many
and food
things,
is such a great combo.
Yeah, we have a lot. We have a lot of amazing, amazing gifts in the 7,500 islands that exist in that region that is the Philippines. But I ended up in Chicago, where a lot of really good music is also a lot of origins of music and migration take place in the center of this country. So I have a lot of different influences, from hip hop to jazz to blues to yeah, all kinds of music, even house and reggae,
Yeah.
have been part of my journey.
How was the
And
how was the was there a culture shock coming over here at 10 years old from the Philippines to America? I mean, was it straight into Chicago, or was it Arkansas first?
I was 11 and we went to Arkansas first, and I
So
had
a little bit
visited a
slower
little
pace
bit,
for okay.
a little bit, but it was still way different food wise,
Yeah.
demographic wise, schools, like just what we were learning and the resources we had access to. It was night and day,
Hey,
honestly.
that's what's up. And when you got to Chicago, now that was another huge jump for you. Have you ever experienced anything like Chicago before?
No, I definitely started getting panic attacks when I moved to Chicago
Oh no.
because, it was a big city. I'd never been in that big of a city, and I grew up in 4 square miles of
Yeah.
a tiny Pacific island that's flat, and so is Chicago, but it was just way more fast paced. You just really feel like you're in the heart of the continent,
Hey.
just in the center, surrounded by land, even though the lake was there, which was dope.
And now you're even in a bigger city, LA,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
is like, I'm a Californian. I was born down there, you know what I'm saying, down in Long Beach. I love California. I don't like LA so much, just because there's an abundance of people. I don't like being around a lot of people, you
I
know.
see.
And even Sacramento's getting kind of stuffy, and we're only at like a 500,000 people. That's just not a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Sacramento is beautiful, and being in a very populated place is not for everybody. But
Right.
being in a small place, like the towns that I was in Arkansas, like not even cities, like towns, not for everybody either.
Right,
For
yeah,
sure.
because you want to, especially as a younger person, you want to go out and have a nightlife, you know what I'm saying? Go out, hang with some friends and do whatnots. But in a place that closes at 9, you know what I'm saying? You're like, how the hell are we going to do anything around here? That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, hence the drug pandemic in different places, you know what I mean?
Facts.
Uh,
We
you
gonna
know,
find something to do.
yeah, yeah, period. And so, like, I feel like people just, depending on which crowd you're with, you find different influences. I mean, it was gorgeous. I'm not gonna lie. I have to say that the country areas, southern areas, places that are not that populated are so beautiful, and that nature can be preserved.
Right.
But it's just, as far as like where me and my family wanted to be, we wanted to be in the city, and I'm really grateful we did move when I was 13, because it really changed my life to be in Chicago. It really
Bet.
opened my worldview, and it deepened my worldview, and it expanded my heart in a way that, you know, I'm sure I would have learned if I stayed in any of the places that I was before that. With Chicago, man, the knowledge that goes through there, the depth of art and people,
You learn
in
quick around
Chicago.
there, huh? Yeah.
You have to learn fast.
Yeah.
You have to.
Big city living,
Uh,
absolutely. You got to learn quick, or you're going to either be a victim of something, you know. And that, you know, we don't want that. That's a fact.
Yeah. And a survivor of many things for sure. Anybody from Chicago is, you know, you know, gone through
Veteran.
their journey for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, because you're gonna be like, dude, I grew up in Chicago, bro. Like my all your formative years, right? You said you moved at 13, right? So that's all your formative years, you know, up through high school. Then you're like, let me just go try LA real quick, and that's crazy to even think about because I mean Chicago's pretty big, you know. It's got a lot of people, a lot of history there. But then you go to Chicago or to LA, and it's like it's probably twice as big.
Yeah.
Like I think there's what 20 million people down in that area somewhere. That's a
Yeah, I
lot of
don't
people.
even
That's
know
almost
how
half the
many,
whole
but a
state.
lot.
Shit.
Yeah. Plus, how many tourists are here? And I came here as an adult, though. I've only been here for 6 years, right before COVID.
Oh, okay.
And it was a choice out of wanting to be connected to more artists, more Pacific people, more you know, I guess different waves of work that I do, from herbalism to just wanting to be closer to the islands and being, you know, deeper into nature.
Yeah.
That's definitely something that I wanted to experience by living here.
Hell yeah. That's what's up. And are you a big ocean fan? You like to go to the ocean and the beach?
Yes, absolutely.
Hey,
I
that's
mean,
what's
I don't go too much, I don't swim too much in these waters because they're not they're not the ones to swim in with all the waste and all the fires, you know.
Oh,
But
right.
and it's cold, so I feel like sorry to any LA folks, but I feel like the Pacific in California is a lie because I'm from, you know, by the equator and it's warm
Absolute blue
ocean
waters.
water, like,
Yeah.
you know, it wasn't like this. And yeah, I respect the ocean and it's definitely a home to me for
Hey,
sure.
that's what's up. Yeah, just hanging out on the beach is good too. You know what I'm saying? I like that because I don't always go swimming in the ocean when I go to the ocean either. But hanging out on the beach is always fire, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's needed. Like you can't have a summer in LA without stopping by the beach, I feel like.
Bet.
In my heart. I mean, even though a lot of people from LA are like, "Oh yeah, we don't even go." They don't get to experience so much of the nature because people are just hustling, you know, to
Well,
survive with all the,
yeah.
you know, cost of
You,
living and everything.
yeah, you got to give some time to yourself though. It's very important in life to stop and smell the roses, so to speak. And people get caught up, you know, especially in the big city in the right race, you know, always trying to make their pockets fatter, which is I'm not against that, you know what I'm saying? Make pockets as fat as you can get them, but also try to give some time to yourself, you know, because we only get one fucking trip on this earth, you know, and if we spend it just, you know, trying to collect wealth, did you really live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not everybody loves the beach, but I feel like it's a regenerative place for me and a lot of people I know.
Yeah.
A place to celebrate, a place to come together.
Absolutely. Now, when Soultree was a little girl dancing around the house and their parents had music on, what was some of the music that your parents were playing when you were little?
When I was little, definitely Whitney Houston, Tony Braxton, Michael Jackson, like
Nice.
yeah, a lot of pop music, you know. There was definitely just cassette tapes, like of all the cultures. There was also Filipino music,
Nice.
some old school Filipino music, OPM, like original Filipino or Pinoy music, more kind of ballads. And yeah, that was a lot of what my parents played. And you know, as we started getting more like channels on the TV, because we had really limited channels where I grew up, like maybe
Okay.
5 to 9 at most. And so as you know, technology got better, we got more access to music. I think MTV Asia came, so we got to see more like diverse genres, because it was very hard to access like even hip hop
Oh, wow.
growing up because it wasn't really like everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
it was just the major artists like Tupac and Biggie, and it
Okay.
was always their hits. You know, you didn't really get
Yeah,
like
just
everything
album.
came to the islands later, you know,
Okay.
like movies came later. We didn't get a theater till I was 10. So just
Oh,
the way
wow.
technology moved was like way slower. Like there was still not a lot of people had internet by the time I left in 2001. So
Oh, okay.
I think really relying on TV and my friends, being with like older friends, because I have an older sister, really tapped me into more music. We were definitely into like boy bands back then and
Nice.
like all that pop era music, but I definitely always loved R&B and whatever hip hop that I could access, whether it was like Lauryn Hill, it just really opened up my, you know, my vocabulary, my musical vocabulary.
Nice. Yeah, Lauren Hill. That so I take that's one of your inspirations of getting into music, is her writings.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like local, like I would go to open mics too when I was in high school
Oh, nice.
in Chicago, like the suburbs, as well as just various open mics that were pop-ups, you know, and I really feel like local artists really inspired me, from poets to um, you know, independent artists who, whether they're doing, you know, acoustic music or rapping.
Hell yeah. Have you always been the type of person who always liked to write maybe short stories or poetry when ever from like a young age?
Yeah, I wrote diaries, I wrote prayers. I was in a Catholic school, so we were writing songs, and we spoke Marshallese in school, so that was like the main language. And I also spoke English, and Tagalog at home. So I would try to write in those languages. Was never taught Tagalog formally,
Okay.
the written version, or you know, it was mostly like spoken
Okay.
to me. So I would write. I love to write, you know,
Right.
in whatever language I could access.
Have you done music in other languages other than English?
Yeah, so my most recent album, In I released my first full Tagalog song and full Marshallese song.
Ooh, sweet.
Um, and I did like choir back in high school,
Oh,
so
nice.
I sang whatever languages were in our, um, you know, what we were required to do in class, and there was sometimes like Italian, French, um, you know, even Swahili and like, you know, like
Wow.
Yiddish, like all kinds of like, you know, sacred in Latin, you know, just sacred music, both church and like, you know, kind of contemporary.
That's wild. So you can speak many, many languages, or at
Not,
least
I mean,
sing
I don't know if
them.
I can full on speak, but I can fake it.
Well,
I
yeah,
can
like I
sing
can sing
a
Feliz
little bit, you know.
Navidad. I mean, I learned that in
Yeah, yeah.
Spanish,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Oh yeah, and
class.
I love Spanish music, even though I don't speak Spanish, like
Right.
Selena and like, you
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Shakira.
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
love I love all kinds of music, even stuff I don't speak the language of. I mean, I only speak English, but I know a little bit of fucking Spanish. You know, I live in California. You got to know a little bit. You
Yeah.
always learn, like the first thing you learn in California in Spanish is all the cuss words. You know,
Yeah.
so you got
Yeah,
to
that's
learn
what
all those.
we Filipinos teach our friends too. Is like mostly the cuss words and the food words.
Absolutely. So that's always fun. What do you think your end vision in music is going to be? Like, what do you wish to um, um, achieve by putting your writings out there for the world?
Hmm. Wow, that's a big question about achieving, because I feel like music is very much just a way of life, a practice, you know? And I do feel like my music is mission driven, and I have a background in organizing, both in immigrant rights and
Oh, nice.
just various social justice, you know, whether it's women's rights, you know, just like, you know, liberation of Black people, and you know, incarceration of our, you know, communities, like just trying to dismantle systems of oppression.
Mm.
And I just want to be more humble and realistic, that, you know, I wish and I pray that all these things would, you know, that we would heal as a community for
Yeah.
real, in my lifetime, and you know, that we'd stop damaging the climate, and that we'd actually like humanize each other, and like divest from these systems of like harm and war, which we're in another one now. But I just want my music to be more simple than those main goals, because I will always fight for those things.
Hmm.
I'll always advocate for those things. And I don't really think it's a fight, because like God knows, and the war has been won, whatever. This war
Yeah, the
we're
book's already been written,
yeah, you
right?
know, like, you know. But I feel like I just want my music to allow people to connect again
Hell
to
yeah.
themselves, each other. And I want it to allow me to connect, you know, I want to start telling my story as somebody that also gives a, I'm not trying to martyr myself. I want to also be involved in this. I want to be involved with my own healing, and I want to support others in doing that. And I hope that my own journey can um even chip away at that goal, that worldly goal that we all, I think, share ultimately, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, I tell you what, we all bleed red, right? And we all
Yes.
want to be able to live our lives. And if we could do that in peace, I believe that would be better off for everybody. I think you have a strong heart. Like I said, I've listened to some of your music, and I think you need to do exactly what you're doing. That's what's in your heart. You need to put it out there, whether people agree with you or not. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And no, not everybody should agree with each other. That's fine, but everybody has a voice, and it should be spoken. So that's the way I feel about it. And everybody's story is important. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you got coming up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so shout out to you for having the courage and strength to be able to put some shit out like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy.
Thank you. Thank
You're going to
you.
get backlash from all over the fucking place. People are jerks on the internet, and
Yeah.
if we could just look. The thing is, we're not all gonna agree on everything. You know what I'm saying? You might like spicy food. I don't. You know what I'm saying? But we can still be friends. You know, like it's fine. You know, and I think weed has a lot to do with it too. If people just smoke more weed, we'd be a lot nicer to people. You know,
Yeah.
how mean can you be on weed? Not very mean.
I mean, I like that link of talking about how herbs really change our mindset, because I think that's part of what I study in just different spiritual practices is that us believing that we're separate from each other as humans, but also from nature, is part of like at the core of our wounds as a people, and nature wants us to heal because when we heal, nature heals because we are actually nature.
That makes
You
complete
know?
sense, absolutely, because we do heal from a scratch, right? Like we could put that in a more broad sense of mind, body, and soul, and we are from this, and we will return to it. That makes sense. Shout out to you.
Yeah, and I think you just having the peace in yourself to believe that. I think if more of us asked plants to help us heal, and ask the right plants to help us go through the journeys that we're going through, like I really genuinely believe it would help,
So you're a
and
no
make an
shit for
impact.
real herbalist. Like
Yeah.
you're. I see. I'm not into. Like if I need to go get some surgery, I'll go get surgery. But I don't want to take your fucking pills. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never been a pill person. My sister tried to off herself. The unalive thing, off of some oxycontin. You know what I'm saying? So I've never really been that guy. I've always been like a natural solution person. Like I'm manic depressive bipolar. I'm supposed to take lithium, and I haven't taken it since I was 17 years old. I'm 50. Well, I'll be 50 in October. All I've done was smoke weed. I've never been in trouble. I never went flying off the handle, and going crazy ape shit on somebody, Like, I do believe there are plants in this world. And a lot of the pills, they're made from plants, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
if you know medication, you know that it's derivatives of shit that exist on this earth. So, we just need to figure out what the combination is and unlock those combos, and we'd be good.
Yeah, and I hear that, and I think that I'm glad that cannabis could be an ally to you and a companion to you, and that you didn't have to take something that would also alter and impact your other organs potentially, because the difference between these extractive, like you said, derivative medications is that they remove other properties of the plant, and those make an impact.
Right.
Removing those properties makes an impact, and trying to make a quick solution that is potent and perhaps addictive, or just impacting of your other organs in an extreme way because you're wanting something fast and solution based, and instant gratification based practice. I'm not against Western medicine or taking any pills
Right.
per se, but within herbalism, it really is the practice of, it is a holistic practice. It's not just you're just going to take this plant and that's it. It really
Right.
has to be a journey. It's a spiritual journey. Every plant is a spirit, and you are journeying with it, and your spirit is aligning with it. And if you're taking this plant, but you're not doing all these other things, and you're still like treating this person that way, treating your body this way, not, it's not going to make a full impact. It has to be like a holistic thing. And
Okay.
that's, I think, the difference of like, Western medicine in some ways. And I
Because
do,
there's no connection there.
yeah. And I have a lot
Yeah.
of teachers that feel like, yeah, don't take pills. And I think that, um, I'm not the type of person that will tell people that, but I do
Yeah.
want to support people in finding the right, allies for themselves, that, and preferably a natural one that's not,
Right.
hazardous to your other organs, and
Because I was
that
told,
is meant for you.
I was told not too long ago, and I didn't know this as a kid. I just knew that when I took the lithium, I felt like I was stoned. So
Mhm.
why keep taking this pill? I'll just smoke weed. You know, that was my configuration of what was happening.
Mm.
Years down the line, probably 15, 20 years ago, I found out that if I would continue to take lithium, I would be having to, like, my kidneys would fail.
Mhm.
Now, what good is that? Because I'd have to be on lithium my
Right.
whole life
Yeah, that's
and
the
take it
thing.
every single day. And
Mhm.
eventually, I mean, I smoke cigarettes, so I'm gonna blow my lungs out anyway. I might as well just smoke weed and just, double it up real quick.
Mhm.
Why start messing with my other organs? That's crazy to me.
Exactly, and it's vital organs, and
Right.
that is that the manipulation of herbs is also like making your organs work harder,
Mm.
because it doesn't have the full properties. And generally, our organs are always um, filtering parts that are not necessary for our system. They're a part of our filtration system, and
Oh.
whatever we put inside our bodies, like our organs are having to react to it.
Right.
And so if you're, isolating a property of an herb or a plant, um, you're it has side effects on the rest of your system.
Yeah, because you're not getting the whole gambit of properties like you would eating an apple.
Yeah.
If you're just taking or eating an orange, I should say, and taking a
Hmm.
vitamin C tablet. Like
Hmm.
those are going to be completely different, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm still new to it. I just know that I don't like. I'll take ibuprofen if I got a headache. You know,
Hmm.
I got shoulder surgery and they wanted to give me some. What was it? Norcos or something like that. I think they were calling them. And I was like, "Is that an opioid?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I don't want it." You know what I'm saying? Like, give me something that's not an opioid. And I'll take it. So they gave me
Yeah.
Tylenol threes with codeine, and I was like, "Okay, I'll take those." But
Wow.
I took one of those Narcos. I was sitting there. My mom had to come over and help me, and she's sitting next to me, and I got my eyes closed. I can't even open my eyelids. I was sitting here. I'm talking to her just like I'm talking to you right now with my eyes closed, and I couldn't fucking open them. That is some scary shit.
Wow.
Like I couldn't even open my eyes to look at my mom to talk to her. It was crazy.
That's intense.
Yeah, I did not like it.
Yeah. Yeah. I empathize with that, and I know too many people who are, taking medication and it's not helping them, and they're taking like 7 different medications, and they're feeling the side effects, whether it's to kidney, liver, heart, even lungs.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm glad we're having this conversation. I feel like this is important to talk about, within the world of music, because especially within the arts, we have our vices, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We have our patterns, and I just want longevity for our community, especially for artists, because we need us around.
Well, you've
to do
seen
what
too
we
many
do.
of the ones that people go, "Oh man, he was taking too soon,"
Yeah, all the
and
time.
it's sad as fuck, bro. Because look, you talking about a young person who doesn't like. I was young, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know how careless I was with my life, dude, and it's a praise to God that I'm still here. You know, I should have been dead 10 times over, no problem, but some people aren't that lucky, dude, and it fucking sucks,
Mhm.
dude. It really
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, and you see it a lot, especially in LA. You see it in a lot of big cities, like, but even in rural cities, you see, um, yeah, these medications taking so much
They're too
of our
accessible.
community.
Way too
Yeah,
accessible.
and I worked in medicine a little bit too.
Oh, did you?
And yeah, we were part of the people that were prescribing it.
Oh, wow.
But I had to get by, and yeah, you see how just how much is easy abused.
That
Can
see,
we
that's the
pause here?
thing.
Can we pause here? Cause my hair is like coming
We
up.
absolutely can.
Yeah.
Let me do this here real quick. I will share the screen, so we're going to
Okay.
cover you up, and
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
absolutely, we're all friendly here. That's what we do. We want to share the love, and just let me know when you're ready. I'll click the button, and you'll be able to see the screen.
Okay.
And we're going to play one of your songs before the Zoom meeting ends. How's that
Okay.
sound?
Cool, cool.
Nice.
Thank you.
How's everybody doing out there? I see you, Caitlin. Come here, give me hugs. That's that good stuff. Big salute to you, my dude, Big Kahuna, Gregory, Stitch. How you doing, bro? Good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. Bill Holden is in the house. Who else in here? Odious, the Alchemist, is in the building. What's up, bro? Good to see all y'all. We got Darrell in the house. Who else we got? We got my dude Jeremy, homeboy Diggy's here. Man, I'm so glad you guys showed up. Make sure you guys tap the link in the description below. That is to Soultree's link tree. You'll be able to find all of our social medias, all our streaming platforms you use on there. Follow along. We're having an awesome conversation too, man. So thank you to Soultree for a great conversation and letting us get to know who she is behind the music.
I'm ready.
Okay. We got this here. It's going to take my computer's from 1972, so it takes
wow.
a second from everything to load up. It's weird because my friend was like, "Hey, let me see the specs on your computer." I was showing him through a Zoom call, and he goes, "How do you go live?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Dude, your computer's garbage, dude. Like, I don't even know how you go live, dude. This is crazy." He's like, "You got no graphics card? What's going on?" I was like, "I don't know. It was like $300, dude. It said it could get online." That's what it said. 6 years later, I'm still using the same computer, dude. It's crazy.
Yo, bless
Yeah.
up. Wow,
Right?
Hey, if it works, it works.
Longevity, man. I'm telling you, it's great. What song would you like to start the people with tonight?
We could start with Undocu first. I feel like that's relevant.
Okay. Is it down here?
It's the one at the top.
Oh,
on the
I'm
third,
sorry.
column
Which one is it?
is the third one.
Undocuforce. Okay, this one.
Undocuforce.
Okay. Yes. We got the one and only Soultree in the house. Oh, sorry. Show some love in the comments. Show some love by hitting that link tree, sub up, all that good stuff. This one's called Undocuforce. Let's go. There. That was Soultree. Hey, man, I know she has a great singing voice. This start snapping, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, super impressive. I really enjoy the music. I hope you guys out there enjoy it as well. So show some love. And where does it go next? I've seen some stuff on your YouTube where you're doing some live performances. You know, and you can answer this question when we get back from the Zoom meeting breaking up.
Okay.
But where does it go next? Do you want to do like festivals, or do you want to like create some type of like your own type of like Earth Festival, or some something that's going to be like surrounding in your brand? You know what I'm saying? I can feel that.
Yeah. That's so funny you say that, because I was just talking to my friend who's like doing design consulting for me in Chicago, and I talked about like this Nature Earth Festival.
Hey.
I would love to. I would love to lead that. I just want to sing to every, nature space in the world. I would love to perform for nature, by nature. I'm ambitious, so I would love to organize it, but I also would love support, and I would love folks to invite me. I'd love to perform at the Red Box. I want to do festivals for sure,
Hell
but I would
yeah.
love for it to be in alignment with nature, though, because a lot of these festivals are not.
Right. Red Rocks would be an incredible venue. I would love to see a show there. Never been able to see a show there, but I will one day.
Got to. I've
And
never either.
you know what?
But
I'm gonna see you there.
yo, I would love
That'll
that.
be
Yo, let's put it
fire.
out there.
Yes, we're gonna put it
Red
into the
Rocks,
ether.
holla at me.
Come on now, you know where the talent's at.
Soultree booking at gmail.com. Pull up. Pull up.
Too easy. You already know. At Red Rocks in the comments right now. Just let them know.
At them.
Yeah. See that I like doing these little thought exercise. Oh, sorry. There we go. That's all right. We're gonna be right back, folks. Don't worry. We're gonna be right back. I hope everybody's had a great weekend, a comfortable Sunday. You know how we do it over here on the west side. It was a beautiful day, 82 degrees. Oh man. I do have the air conditioner on because it got a little warm in the trailer. It got to almost, I think it was like 85, 86. It was pretty warm, so I had to turn on the air conditioner. But my friend Alex came over and we smoked a couple joints, and he had a sweet purple nug he wanted to smoke too, so rolled that up, and yeah, man, it was a good time. It was a good time. It was a good weekend. There she is.
Shout out to our sponsors, Red Rock.
Hey, let's go. Welcome back to Soultree. How you doing? How you doing? You having a great Sunday or what?
Yeah, I'm having a beautiful Sunday. for
Absolutely,
sure.
me too. I'm so glad to hear it. So yes, the next exercise I wanted to speak into existence with you, and I know that it's not about the money, but the money will follow, right? You do something you love long enough, the money will follow. And let's just say you do start, this big Earth Day festival, type thing, and you become very wealthy, and you start hitting the tops of billboards, and you got all the money. Now we talking generational lineage of money, right?
Okay.
Where are your top 3 houses?
Where are my top 3 houses?
Now you're gonna have houses all over the earth, but your main
Yeah.
home, maybe a couple vacation homes.
Okay. Honestly, I do want to have a home in the Philippines because I've never, and I don't, and yeah, my family has not had a home in the Philippines for years, so I need to
That'd be
go.
fire.
You're saying vacation homes, not like your
Well,
main
you
home.
get like your main home, like where's
Okay,
your main
then.
house gonna be, and then maybe a couple of vacation homes.
Yeah, I want the Philippines to be my main house, no lie.
That would
But
be a beautiful setting
vacation.
too. I mean, I got a homie that lives out there, and he's got a big ass farm on his land, and it's just like you look out, and it's just look like beautiful island shit, like the trees and all the greenery, and it is amazing looking out there. So that would be fire.
The night, yeah, yeah. I love being by nature and by the water, but I also want to be mindful. Just as an islander, I really don't believe in the vacation industrial complex. I have mixed feelings, even though like I participate still. So I just want to be, wherever, I want to be in relationship with the land wherever I go. So I just have to put that disclaimer that I don't want to just like recolonize a place. But I've been really building relationship with Oahu, and I want to ask permission, of course, to just be able to be closer to island places. I don't know if I necessarily want a vacation home there, but as a place that I want to build with, and
Like do
also,
something important, like
yeah,
put a library or something somewhere.
just I don't know about building a space, but
Oh, okay.
just being in relationship. I don't know what that means. I just put this out there just to be like, I do see myself as predominantly nomadic. I don't really see myself having a home per
Okay.
se. And I feel like with me, I feel really thinking about vacation is really difficult for me as someone who's been undocumented for 24 years.
Okay.
And also as somebody who advocates for indigenous rights, and a lot of times we vacation in places that we don't have permission to go to. So I feel like wherever I go, I want to be in relationship to those places and be of service to those places and of
Absolutely.
support. And I think music can do that. But yeah, other than that, other than the Philippines where I do have lineage, I I would love to be in, have a home in the Marshall Islands, for a time because I want to learn and continue to give back there.
Yeah.
Again, with permission to, actual people that I know that live on the land,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
for sure. Um, and then other than that, I don't know where the third place would be, honestly. I mean, yeah, I guess somewhere in the I'm just an island person, to be honest.
You can
You
buy your
can't,
own
I wouldn't,
island and have your own island.
yeah, I mean, I don't know where else. I would love to travel
And
everywhere,
then
but I just don't know where else
then you can
I
have a
haven't traveled too
helicopter.
much
Yeah. Well,
outside the
you're
country.
super mega rich now. Like we've already,
Right,
yeah, you
right.
got all the money. So, it's nice, right, to think that I would still live like a normal life if I had all the money,
Mm,
but you probably couldn't because people know who you are. So
exactly.
you're going to need a little bit of, you know, you're going to be a little secluded, right?
Mm,
You're going to need like if you go to another country to do a festival or you know maybe speak at some college, letting people just know information or whatever it is that you may be interested in doing later in life, you're not going to want to sleep in a bed someone just got out of, you know what I'm saying?
no, period. Well, yeah.
Right.
You want
You're
your
like,
own spot. For sure.
either I'm bringing my own mattress, you know what I'm saying, or I'm just going to buy a place that's near there because I'm always going to this college and speaking, so I can
Hmm.
just have somewhere to sleep. And that would make sense. Not so
Mm,
much per se a vacation home, but someone
right, right,
to
right.
lay your head while you're in town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to go. Just I'm a Pacific person, so that's where you can find me.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. That climate though, man, that overcast a little bit with the fucking wind blowing in, that shit fire. Cause I don't like hot sun in Sacramento. I know down in LA, that
Mm.
should be like a magnifying glass on us.
No, yeah. Philippines and the Marshall Islands is like that, but I love it. I
Oh, is
love
it?
it. Even with the heat migraines,
Oh, does it gets
and the
real
massive
humid, right?
intense sweat, like, yeah, I just enjoy it. Um, that's what I grew up on, and maybe I'm just a creature of habit. And hey, I served my time in Chicago. I've lived through many polar vortex. I just
Yeah.
know it's from me.
See, now that's a wild one, right? You talking about Pacific Islander type climate, then you go to Chicago and it's like 4 foot of snow. What's that like when the first time you see snow?
Well, first time I saw snow was probably in Colorado as a kid.
Oh,
So
okay.
but it was more temperate, right? And same with Arkansas. But like actually having snow that covers like, half of people's like doorways or more, like
Yeah,
snows people in,
yeah.
that, nothing could prepare me for that.
Yo, how does this even
Nothing could
happen?
prepare me for that. And 5 layers and just trudging through the motherfucking snow. I didn't know the word trudge. I had to learn it by experience. There were
That's
certain
great.
English words in my vocabulary that
Trial
could
by
only
fire.
like black ice, like that kind of slipperiness. Like never ever thought about that in my 10 year, 11 years of existence in the islands. Like it's not a concern or an awareness to me.
Right, right. That's wild. Yeah, because I grew up, because I was born in L.A. Then within the first year of my life, we went up to Alaska.
Oh
You know,
wow.
and I don't remember any of it, but apparently there was a bunch of fucking snow up there all the time. It's Alaska, and
Mm,
then we moved to Tennessee, and in Tennessee it would snow every once in a while, but it wouldn't be anything significant, you know. Until I got to California, and we went up to the mountains, and the mountains and like the Sierra Mountains. Oh my goodness, it snows like crazy up there. So it's probably like on the level with Chicago because it's in the middle of nowhere outside. But the craziest shit was in Colorado in the Rocky Mountains. There was a fucking blizzard, and I was driving through that thing, and it was insane.
Wow. Yeah,
I didn't
no,
like that.
no, nothing like it. I've, yeah, well, my partner has driven through it with me in the car, and where you had to put chains on the tire. Oh,
Yeah, out here in California, they got people
nothing.
that stand on the side of the freeway who'll put the chains on for you for like $10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
10, $15. They'll throw your chains on for you, which is really convenient because then
Well,
you don't have
that's
to
up
get
to
out of your
them.
car. You don't get your hands all cold, you know. But it's a good thing because like look, you can go up there, stay on the side highway with 30, 40 other motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, and just put people's chains on all day, not step on anybody's toes, and make a shit ton of dough in just like a couple months.
Wow.
Yeah, you can make a
Yeah, I
whole
mean, you
year's
gotta
worth of
work it.
fucking
You
money.
gotta earn it in
Yeah,
that cold.
yeah, that's definitely earning it. It's like being on a crab boat or something, like deadliest
Hmm.
catch shit. Like you
Yeah.
working for that money, but you gonna get paid. You gonna work probably like 3, 4 months, and you don't have to work anymore during the year. But you worked really fucking hard for those 3 or 4 months.
And you could die.
You absolutely could perish. Absolutely. What's your let me ask you this: if you couldn't do hip hop or like R&B, and you had to do one other genre of music, what would that genre be?
Reggae, honestly.
Mm,
And I
yeah.
do, but yeah, it's just, yeah,
You got
I
some
think I do
reggae
it all.
cuts?
Yeah. I do. My most recent album is called and it
Oh,
has a lot of reggae influence and inspiration
hell yeah.
from Jamaican reggae, and also just coming from the islands in the Pacific. We always reggae-fied music with just a keyboard,
Hey, that's what's up.
and almost always the same rhythm, pretty much. Because it's
Well,
just funny, like,
that's the beautiful part of doing that stuff because whether you knew it or not, that was all practice leading up to now.
yeah,
Yeah. And you were just
absolutely.
doing it to play and have fun, and no cares in the world. I'm not trying to be perfect at it, so we're just doing it. Then all of a sudden, boom, you're making music videos and like
Mhm.
really taking shit seriously. It's pretty fire. And I shout out to whoever's mixing your stuff. It sounds really good. You
Thank
know,
you.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's
Are you
DC.
okay?
Derek Cannon. He goes by Mixed by DC. He's my partner and he's also my producer
Oh,
for some of my projects, including NI. He's produced a few songs on Soultree and Olive Gem. So he's been the main engineer, both mixing and mastering. So
that's what's up. Yeah, shout out to DC man, because it sounds clean. Sounds really
thank
nice.
you. Yeah, he's really talented. Yeah, this is set up right here. Well,
Oh
this is the
wow.
lab.
Oh my goodness. That is straight up professional right there. That looks beautiful.
Homemade, custom built,
That's what's
built by
up.
DC, mixed by DC. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a very talented artist for sure.
Oh, he's also an artist. That's fire.
Well, he doesn't claim being an artist, but he helps a lot of people with lyrics, with,
Okay.
production, um,
That's
with
that's an art in
composition.
itself though, right?
Yeah.
Composition. That's an art in itself.
Yeah,
Writing music,
absolutely.
fucking difficult.
Yeah. Not necessarily in the classical sense, but people will bring him a song and he will transform it. He
Okay.
will add, he- people call it the DC sauce. you know.
Mm. Can you put some of
Um,
that sauce
yeah,
on
he
there,
puts
my
that
guy?
sauce on it.
That's what's up. And I
And he
imagine
works
in
in multi-genres, so.
okay, I imagine being in LA, you're probably doing some open mics down there. Probably got a few book gigs, and you're running into a lot of other local artists. How are those relationships going?
It's been beautiful. I've been traveling a lot through my work, so I haven't been able to do too many shows, but I've been doing an album release party in different cities. So we did one in Oahu in the beginning of May, one in Chicago at the
Fire.
end of May. We were gonna do one in mid-June here in LA, but there were a bunch of raids, so
Oh,
we canceled because we just didn't want to risk people getting stopped by ICE.
I got you.
And, it's just been a crazy time
Yeah.
for our community, and we've just been recalibrating. And yeah, it's interesting being an independent artist because I still have, day job. I work for a nonprofit, and so
Oh, nice.
um, the balance of when performing is definitely a real thing. I love to curate my own shows. I love to also go to open mics. I can't say I've been to too many in LA, to be honest. I used to hit them all the time in Chicago, but um, that's a good reminder to get back into the scene. I've been going to Sunday Jump
Okay.
for many years. They're based in Filipino Town, historic Filipino Town, at the Filipino Workers Center. And I've been to a handful, and yeah, just I definitely participate in the community and in the arts, like through jams and just supporting different local artists, as well as like the main venues, in LA, like the Bowl. And
What's some of your
um
favorite shows you've seen?
some of my favorite
And they
shows,
could be from
dang,
anywhere.
I saw I saw the Fugees,
Ooh.
Lauren and the Fugees in October of 23, when their first reunion.
Mm.
I think it was at the Crypto. It was just beautiful to see them rock the stage. It was a beautiful performance. I saw Kim Mortal at uh what do you call it? The Ford, right across from Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, okay.
And it was a beautiful performance with Ruby Ibarra, a bunch of Filipinos, rappers,
Ruby is so
MC,
fire, man.
Classy, yeah.
Oh my God, that
Um,
woman can just tear down walls, bro. She is like we've been listening to Ruby for a minute, so that's dope. You
yeah,
got to fucking see her live. She's so
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it was really, really, really cool. And then Rocky Rivera was there, MC Classy, who's local. Um, Who- yeah, I feel like I've seen so many really dope shows. I saw Stephen Marley at the Cali Vibes
Mm.
um a few years ago, and it was one of the most powerful performances
Oh wow.
I've seen for sure. Yeah, it was really, really impactful. Um, but yeah, I love going to shows. I've gone to many different festivals, like being in Chicago, going to Lollapalooza,
Ooh, nice.
and I never paid for it. I always
Oh,
worked it.
oh, sick. See, now
So I
that's the
was
secret,
like
right?
vending
Yeah.
and just like watching your favorite artists like slaying cookies or yogurt or something.
See, smart. That's why pay $100 a day when I can just get paid $100 a day. That's fire.
Well, maybe back in the day it was $100 in the day, but now like it's way more, I feel like.
It probably is. It probably $500 a day.
I
Yeah,
don't even know. Like I think last time I checked it was like 180 or upwards of that.
that's crazy. And you do
Um,
any meet and greets, and it's gonna go through the roof.
yeah.
Yeah, my dude Nico in the house, man. What up, Nico? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Big salute, homie. He said he in the kitchen making some dinner. Just got home from work. He said, "Gotta go see what's going on over here." Yeah, you do. But you just in time for a song, my guy. Soultree, where should we direct them next?
Let's do the newest track since we're talking about reggae. We got A Little Rain Must Fall off my new album, In I.
Yes. And shout out to you for putting out music videos and doing, all the extra work that goes involved with this stuff. It's not cheap, it's not easy, and I hope you guys are appreciative of this stuff because this one right here, what was a green screen right here?
Actually, it's a psych, and we just projected. There was a projector
Oh, okay.
with different. Actually, it was no, it was a psych with lighting, and then the lightning was a After Effect.
Oh,
Actually.
nice. Yeah. We got Soul Tree in the house. Make sure you guys hit that link in the description below. That's going to be to all her socials, all her streaming platforms she uses. This was called A Little Rain Must Fall. Let's go. Yeah, Soul Tree hitting you with that soul, man. You can feel the emotion in that. I love work like that because it's true, it's honest, and it's real.
Hell yeah,
Appreciate
new
you.
shit, new shit.
Hey.
Thank you. I mean, it's a song of its time, and a lot of the songs from this album, and I took years to release, and this is one of them that was from 2017, 2018, and it was a song that was really close to my heart during some really challenging times, and was one of those songs that like really helped me heal and talk about talk about something without talking about something. You know what I mean? Like you're
Hey.
not exactly just presenting what I was going through, but it can be an analogy for people getting through their suffering, through their rain. A lot of people, you mentioned, suicide earlier, die by suicide and like attempts at that. Like sometimes we don't wait till the rain passes to really see what's on the other side.
Yeah.
And this song is really about understanding that in this life there's going to be loss, there's going to be tragedy, and there is growth that's going to come from that. It doesn't mean that it was meant to happen. It doesn't mean that anybody deserved it, but we're going to grow like seeds from the water, that even if the water is our tears, like we're going to grow from that shit, you
And
know?
that's the beautiful part about it, because even though it is a story of struggle, it's a story of hard time, but there's a silver lining around the cloud, you know, every time that you can uplift yourself, you know, every time you could help someone else out, you know, there's always a positivity surrounding tragedy. So
Yeah.
absolutely, I absolutely agree with you 100%. Just get past the rain.
You know, and I'm a saddie as much as I'm a baddie. I'm gonna say that I love to explore grief. I love to shed it. I love to let music be the holder, the container, and the outlet to express my sorrow. I love to wail. That's something that I learned in church, like just wailing. Church is where you also learn to sing when someone passes on,
Yeah.
how to keep shining your light and still like, giving it up to God or whoever you believe in, whatever spirit, whatever divinity, or if you don't at all, just to give it up to life. Like just let it out, because when we let out that pain, it doesn't belong to us anymore, and we could do something with it. And I think a lot of times people don't have that outlet for their pain. And I'm really grateful that through all my migrations that I shared with you, and all the evolutions and the confusions and the illnesses that I've also been through, music was my ally. Music was my
That
companion, was
staple,
my
that anchor.
partner, my friend,
Yeah.
like music is my number one homie. Like when I'm down and out, like, you can take everything from me. You can take my wealth. You can take, people are taking folks' rights right now, but I will still sing. You can incarcerate me, but I will still sing. You can isolate me, but I will still sing. And that transference of sound, that breath, it's still gonna travel to wherever it needs to go. And I really, on a spiritual level, believe in that.
And see, that's the mindset that's going to get you far, right? Because no matter what happens, I know how it will play out in the end. You know, um, it might not be comfortable for me, but that ain't the point. The point is
Mm,
what I got to say, and other people have to hear it, and hopefully I can help some people along the way. That's what I'm hearing.
hmm Shoot. And then at least in one perspective, whether folks hear your music or not, you can help yourself in that moment. Because it really did. I carried that music from 2017 till it was born. I didn't drop it on streams till this year, and I dropped it on Bandcamp last year to fundraise for these music videos. So I
Oh,
actually
nice.
made the most money on Bandcamp last year, like upwards of 2K,
Nice.
because I emailed every single person I knew and was like, "Hey, I'm dropping this on Bandcamp." Like, I updated folks on my life, like people, my clients for my herbalism and bodywork practice. I emailed them, as well as people that I performed with. Like
That's what's up.
every like phone card that I ever got, like people's business cards, I entered it into my listserv and I hit them up, and I was just like, "Yo, this is what I'm doing. You've interviewed me in the past. Yo, give put up bread to my shit.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
I I've supported so many other artists and so many other communities, and what seeds they've been planting. So
Yeah.
when it came time to it, or when it comes time to it, I also am learning to ask for help. That's a big thing that you learn in music, is like, if you don't ask for what you want, you're not gonna get it.
It's a
That's
fact.
in life, but also like with music, like
It's one
people
thing to
don't
just
care until you
ask for
make them
stuff,
care.
but you're working your ass off towards a goal. That
Yeah.
is something that people will get behind and support. You know,
Mhm.
if you're not helping yourself, people tend not to want to help those that don't help themselves. It's understandable, because at that point you're kind of just looking for a handout.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
you work your ass off. It's evident, you know,
Mhm. Thank
and I
you.
can see why people would want to help you.
Thank
You're a
you.
positive, force in this universe. You're speaking, to people directly, not at them. There's a lot
Thank you.
of important things that you're doing.
Thank you for that. And I didn't really think of it as like, I always just thought it was something that I do, but I never asked for a long time for people to give something back. Like I would just offer I would do a lot of free stuff and just like do, and that's important to
Yeah.
build your work and to network and things. But the longer you do it, you can't sustain off like donations alone.
Right.
Like you really have to tell folks like, you're serious about it and you want to grow and you want to be paid and you want to survive off of it in this capitalist system that we live in currently.
Yeah.
Not to like pimp the music or to exploit the art, but to also respect the energy that it takes to generate this work and the funding that it takes to make it quality.
Well,
You
the
know,
thing
to the best
is
of our ability.
it's the, like I was saying, it's the emotion, the raw passion behind your lyrics. You know what I'm saying? It's not an act. It's not fake. You know what I'm
Thank you for
saying?
hearing it.
And you can reach a lot of people with just being honest, and I fucking love that shit.
Thank you. Yo, it's not easy.
It's not.
Cried a lot in the booth, you know, like had a lot of breakdowns, really, you know, and there have been a lot of hurdles in the road where you're like, should I still do this?
Let
Do
me
people
ask you
care?
this.
Is this good?
It is good, and people do like it. I can speak for people, at least this person. I like it.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
but I want to ask you this: when you're writing about some of these issues, and you're in that mindset, how is it that you get out of that mindset once you're completed the process?
Yeah. Um, that's a amazing question. It took a long time to know what my post performance, post writing, post creation practice would be. Because sometimes I would release so much emotion and I was still dealing with a lot of the trauma and I hadn't been far away from the experience yet, that it would be incapacitating. There would be like a lot of like vegetable mode, just like you release so much energy, like you don't even have energy to like
A lot of
cook
dark
or
room
take
shit.
care of yourself. Like, you know, like um yeah, so there was a lot of like relying on other people and like also just not knowing how to care for myself, not having a practice. I didn't, you know, I worked with a lot of people. I didn't have necessarily like a music mentor per se, except for my peers and then my collaborators.
Yeah.
So honestly, like it took going to therapy and so many other practices and like also doing stuff outside of music to find out how could I incorporate those practices in music? Like what kind of stones do I need today? What kind of tea do I need today? Who do I need to talk to? Who do I need to not talk to that day? Like which calls do I avoid to get me in my mindset so that I'd be able to come out of this and be okay.
Yeah.
And like really you know, and I'm not disciplined and I'm not perfect because I'm just, you know, just a human being
We
and I
are
have
flawed.
my
We are
vices, but
flawed.
like knowing that that's okay, that was the recording session, that's over. I can just like do be a human and not still be in that mode.
Yeah.
It is a practice, I'll say. It's a discipline and it's not, it comes with time. So for folks that are new, folks that are artists that are just beginning to speak rawly on your music or just speak more, you know, candidly about what you're going through, especially if it's challenges that you're going through, like find your health and self-care practices and yeah, just like even like just mentally tapping out of that mode, changing your clothes, changing the environment, moving from the studio to the outside, touching a plant. Like you have to shift your energy. Because yeah, I definitely had times where I was stuck in the feeling.
Yeah, because you have to relive those moments in your head. Like, you're
Mhm.
putting yourself actively back into some of the worst situations that you've lived through, and
Mhm.
you're writing about these, and then, you know, sometimes I know myself, I get stuck in my own head. You know, we all do it. You know,
Mhm.
and I think it's a great answer you had about having to shift your energy into. It could be something as simple as just changing the clothes you're in, or
Mhm.
you know, maybe having a grapefruit or something. You know, like
Mhm.
you're
Mhm.
like, this is the best fucking orange I've ever had. You know what I'm saying? Completely get your mind off of it. That's great advice. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Blessings to everyone that's trying to create, and I just hope that everyone keeps using whatever art or mediums are in their
Absolutely.
vicinity to just feel and grow, you know.
Hey, that's what's up. Now, if you had to pick one venue that you always wanted to play, what's that venue?
Mm. That
It could be
always wanted
anywhere
to
in the
play.
world. Sydney
Mm.
Opera House, you know what I'm saying? Huge soccer stadium in England or something. Red Rocks.
Right. I mean, I'm gonna like I feel like not to be egotistical, but I just feel like now that I'm here, the bowl, but also it feels close. It feels close, no lie.
That is a
I'm
historical
far, but
spot,
I'm
though.
close. I'm just saying, I don't know. I have the feeling.
The
But
Hollywood Bowl.
and I'm not gonna say that it was forever. Like I'm not I don't know. I'm just gonna say I'm not the type of person that like chased venues because I was such an organizer artist, and it
Oh
took me a
yeah,
long time to even think about music as a entrepreneurship and as a business.
right.
It took me. I was so much more of a street artist, like performing at protests, performing
Okay.
at just community events, fundraisers for someone that was like detained, by immigration, and so I never thought of like the biggest concert venue to perform at till very recently. But I feel like I'm gonna hit them all.
Hey,
I'm
you
gonna hit
know
them
you
all.
are. You know you are.
I'm gonna hit them all. I'm a Gemini. We just
Hey,
came off my season, and I'm just why not all of them?
it sounds fair. It sounds fair. I mean, why would you leave one out? That's kind of selfish, right?
Yeah, if not me, like a projection, a hologram of me is gonna haunt
There you go.
these places.
Yeah, I'll be playing 10 at once. What? Like, yeah. Hey,
Only a
Nico.
Gemini
All right,
would.
brother. Flip them steaks, my brother. We'll see you in a minute. Man, you make me hungry, my guy. I haven't ate dinner yet. You had dinner yet?
Me?
Yeah.
No, no, not yet. It's still
It's
7. It's
still it's
early.
still a bit
That would be
early.
supper if if either of us have
I am
ate.
officially an old man, so I'll be like eating at 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be like, oh, I'm so hungry. And then probably
Oh
about like
yeah.
9 o'clock, I'm like, I want something sweet to eat. Like a piece of cake or something.
Yo, or early 50th birthday. I know you
Oh,
mentioned it earlier.
thank you,
When's your
thank you.
actual day?
It's
Sorry
in
to flip it
October.
around. Okay.
Yeah, I still got a little
Nice.
bit of time, but I'm looking forward to it. 50
Okay,
is a big one.
congrats. Yeah,
You
you
know,
made it.
I got a daughter that's turning 25 next month. That's pretty
Okay.
cool. You know,
Congrats.
yeah, appreciate it. You know, it's hard to raise a human being. You know, and then have them
Mm,
be like at least somewhat successful in the earth. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
It's
mm-hmm.
pretty fucking gratifying.
Yo,
To be
blessings to
honest,
that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely. Because
Okay.
this is the thing as a parent, dude. You're like thinking, are they going to be able to fucking get it? You know what I'm saying? Like, just navigate through life, dude. It's very difficult, especially if you like the kids nowadays. They don't go outside, so they have zero street fucking cred. You know what I'm saying? They don't know anything about how to walk through social situations. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And I'm always like, she's a teenager. You know what I'm saying? Like 14, 15, 16 years old. I'm like, why do you never go out? Like, me and my friends were like never in the house. When we was teenagers, this is like the last place you fucking wanted to be. You know,
wow. Hey, times are changing,
they changed.
and they're meant to be like a pendulum swinging back and forth. So,
Yeah, because I used to sit on her bed, dude, and talk to her friends. She's like, I'm with my friends right now. I'm like, but you're not with your friends. You're just texting and video chatting. I don't know. I don't know. If that was all of it, that'd be tough. You gotta have some outside stuff.
right.
Yeah, because I mean, like the sun gives you vitamin D, right? I
Yeah,
believe it's
absolutely.
yeah. So you need that.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. I can't speak because I don't have, kids uh, in these ages, but yeah, technology has changed a lot, and communication and connection has changed a lot.
True. True, and it was probably for the best anyway because there's a lot of crazy motherfuckers out there just doing wild shit all the time.
Yeah, I mean,
So
being inside could be safer.
exactly,
True.
exactly, exactly. But yeah, shout out to my baby girl. I love you, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's fire. Um, let's see. I always admire somebody with a globe, and you got one in the background. Um,
Mm-hmm.
are you? What's some like myself? I love looking at globes, especially if they got the little bumps where all the fucking mountains and shit are. Um, what's some of the shit you do with a globe?
Honestly, this globe and this like what do you call this? This sand what do you call
Oh,
it?
it's
It's
an
like a little
hourglass.
hourglass. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 33 minutes and 33 seconds. That and this metronome, we just like found it in the street, to be honest. But me, I use this globe to be 1,000%. I use it to send Reiki energy to heal like
Hey,
places, like places of like I've sent Reiki to Gaza. I've sent Reiki to the Caribbean, where my friend Taylor Casey has been disappeared since um June 16th, Juneteenth of last year. So I use it for prayer and to like
my
really bless
condolences.
places, like for
For
real.
real.
We have hope that she's still out there and that she's still living, until we know otherwise. We want to keep the hope alive.
There you go.
But yeah, it's been painful. It's been a painful
Yeah, just
experience.
the
I
whole
wasn't close to her,
process.
but she is in my community, and I've, crossed paths with her, and we've shared space, and she's a beautiful being, and I pray that she is able to come home. And yeah, I use this globe for prayer, and I've used it
I like
actually
that.
for manifestation. Like I literally got my green card this year, and I've prayed to the lands where I'm
Congratulations.
from to thank you,
Hell
to be
yeah.
able to bring me back.
Hell yeah. I got a homie from Honduras, and he's undocumented, and I'm just like, please hurry up and get documented, dude. We need to. You're my fucking homie. I don't want you to go nowhere. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? You're my fucking dude. And
yeah,
his dad just got his shit together, and he's in the
yeah.
process of getting his shit together. I'm so happy for him, dude. That's my guy.
If only it was that easy. If only it
It's
was
it,
that
it costs it
easy,
costs
bro.
money. It costs a lot of money,
Yeah.
and it takes some time. But it can be done. But it does take money. It does. It absolutely does take a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and attorneys
That's the
and
money part,
paperwork
right?
and like finding all the information,
Yeah.
and yeah, like it is such a flex of wealth and access, and um just having to be so like in a lot of ways perfect on paper.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I can see both sides of the argument, right? Because I have friends that are undocumented, and the faster we can get everyone legal, the better. You know, I think everyone that deserves to be here should be here, and those ones that committed heinous crimes can, serve their debt to society, either here or abroad or wherever. Um, but it's like my homie just had a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, baby's like less than a year old, and I would love for him to be able to raise his child here. You know, he
Yeah.
told me a lot of stories about where he came from, and how
Mhm.
the living situations were, and how even the
Right.
police were. You know,
Right.
and I don't wish that shit on nobody.
Mhm.
For real.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough because so many policies have been passed to criminalize immigrants.
Oh shit! I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That was not intentional. Zoom just says later, and I forgot to tell her. Damn it! I apologize. But we'll get right back into it. Here we go. There we go. We're back. Anubis, big salute, homie. Good to see you. I hope you're having a great weekend, man. We wrapping it up with Soultree tonight. A brilliant conversation. Amazing artist. I mean, I really couldn't ask for a better Sunday night to wrap all this stuff up with. She's very pleasant to be around, and we're having a great conversation. What's more to like? Soultree, welcome back. I apologize for Zoom cutting you off. Please
It's all
continue.
good. Yeah, I was just saying, like I've worked in immigration. I've done research around it. I have done political work. I've worked at legal offices, and I've taken legal classes because I was undocumented. I wanted to understand how did my family get into this situation? what was the history, through my job working in labor-based immigration, the H-1B visa, which there's 30,000 that opens up in this lottery for the US every year.
Yeah.
And then also helping with certain like family-based immigration, and the longest waits for people to become US citizens are for China, the Philippines, Mexico, and India, and all of that is racially based. And the more that I learned about immigration and how it was formerly a civil situation, then became criminal in the 90s, and how Clinton and Obama's administrations have changed policies to make immigrants more criminalized while the US government goes and dismantles and disrupts their governments. I think about criminality of individuals and immigrants so much more subjectively, because um, we are put in positions as impoverished and globally looted people, historically looted and global majority people, to be put in these situations where we have to commit crimes, or that we are surviving and put in positions where we are in situations and countries that it's kill or be killed, you know? And
Yeah.
so I know I hear this fear in a lot of citizens around heinous crimes and immigrants. And there is this policy called SB 1070 in Arizona, 287G in Georgia, secure communities nationally, that was passed by the Obama administration under Mayor Rahm Emanuel, who was a big Zionist. And so when we think about who is violent, why do you have to become violent? And we treat individual people as criminals and not these governments and the
Right.
rich, wealthy white men who are behind them as criminals. And even looking at our president currently, eh, assaulting children and still being able to run a country and now engage in war in Iran. I I struggle. I think we need a lot more of immigration and just education in general about how we got here. Have been so severely misinformed, especially in this country, on purpose, so that we would continue to feed the system. And I haven't necessarily um, touched on that in my music per se, but when I do my, workshops, my immigrant rights workshops, when I build with community on the ground and I go to schools, this is what I talk about, because I didn't want to learn this as a child,
Yeah, but
as a
it was
teenager,
something that affected you
as a
though.
20-year-old.
Yeah.
This is not how I wanted to spend my summers as a college student at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. But this was my party. This was the party that I was born into, that I was migrated into through the nature of my impoverished family from the Philippines. You know what I mean? Like, I had to gain this knowledge. Like, if hip hop is healthy, independent people helping other people, I had to get healthy. I had to get independent, and I had to help myself, because people were not helping my community in the ways that I believed we deserved, which is very basic minimum human rights. And so we are still filling those roles. And you know why? It's because our governments and the institutions that have the most funding don't do it. It's still on the people. And that's why music is a tool. But I feel like it's hard when we feel like there's not enough resources, when the lack of resources was made on purpose. So many of our heroes in this genre talk about that. And currently, and their predecessors that are coming up, we are talking about it. We're talking about it in more detail. We are becoming less censored in this, the media that we're able to produce, and become more independent. And it is just, high time that we
And
all
that's
get
the
on,
important part is
you know?
that I don't care what side of aisle you're from, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Everybody has a voice. Everybody deserves to be able to be heard.
yeah.
And if you just choose not to want to hear what someone has to say, all you got to do is turn the channel. It's very, very simple,
Yeah.
you know. But I like to hear everybody's side, you know what I'm saying? I like to take in all the information, you know. I like to read
Hmm.
government documents. I like to read court documents. I don't know why, but I really find that shit interesting.
Yes.
And yeah, I could absolutely be sympathetic to everything you just said.
Yeah. It's
You
good to
know,
be informed.
absolutely.
All there is to see the truth, and we often have to really see it with our own eyes.
That is, and it really, the thing is, like, just to do a comparison, like, if you're running through life not experiencing these things and just hearing about them, you're not really fully grasping the gravity of them, you know. But if you're someone running through life experiencing all this stuff, then you have a better understanding what's happening, you know. So it makes logical sense.
Thank you. Thank you for hearing me out and, you know,
Absolutely.
creating this platform for me to share what I gotta say. Because, you know, as you can tell, it's a lot to say in words, and music is the balm for us to be able to receive it. It
Absolutely.
really is like such a powerful tool and medium. And it is, you know, for those that are able to hear, hearing is our last sense that leaves when we pass on. And so I believe there's a primal, very primal spiritual source that music can tap into easily.
Yeah, because you think about it. I've had this conversation with a few other artists. Let's think about before there were instruments, before there was records, before there was anything. There was cavemen banging on rocks. You know they were, because they had to get a rhythm somewhere.
Mm.
I mean, what would you think? What would you think the cavemen were doing? Were they banging on
Yeah.
rocks?
I mean, I'm sure they were. I'm sure they were tapping sticks
You
and
know they were.
grunting and like, you know,
Yeah,
playing with the
dancing.
sound of the fire, you know.
Because even the most primal of us would still be able to figure that out and be able to love it, you know. That I like to think of things of like, what was the first person who ate that berry and said, hey, we can't eat those berries that killed Mike, you know what I'm saying? Like who was the first person? Okay, absolutely. Would you like to listen to another song real quick?
Yeah. Let's do Can't Wait.
Will do. Hey, everybody, make sure you show some love in the comments. You guys have been great in the comments, by the way. Let me thank you first off. And hit that link tree also. And, you know, sub up, follow, all that good stuff. We're going to get into this record right here. It's called Can't Wait. Soultree, let's go.
Can't wait. I just can't wait. Can't wait to be, can't wait to be, can't wait to be, can't wait to be, can't wait to be there. Can't wait to be, can't wait to be, can't wait to be, can't wait to be, can't wait to be there. Relax. medicine, curandera gotta titrate. We've been rushing, we don't know what for. The earth she remembers, the body keeps score. I'ma keep rapping and I'ma stay snapping. I'ma keep bars while that ass stay clapping. You know, can't wait till pandemic is through. Soon as you can come over, you know what we're gonna do.
Yeah, Soultree on the side of the freeway right there,
Right,
putting
right.
it down, bro. Let me tell you, that's location right there.
That's
like
LSD Lakeshore Drive at the Burnham Woods. It's a forest preserve off 47 on Lakeshore Drive, Chicago.
Oh shit, that's hometown shit right there.
Hometown
My
shit.
dude Gregory is in
COVID
love.
classics. This is some. I had this song for a long. It was the longest time. The song that I held on to from 2014. We didn't drop it till like 2023, I think.
Hell
It took
yeah.
a minute. It took a long minute.
But you
But
got
we
a
got
visual
so
out
many
with it.
instruments on that bitch. Like I got my middle school friend from Arkansas on there. He did the flute. He did saxophone, and then I had my homie do trumpet on there, and DC put his sauce, and did, it was just a whole collaboration. And Aran Kabashi and Mo Beats produced that. They're from Kosovo and Eritrea, so they're best friends that were refugees and met in. It was a Chicago best friendship love story.
It's such a small
And this was their
world,
first
right?
beat. This is their first beat that they ever
Oh, for
made,
real?
and they blessed us up, me and Edwin, the trumpet player, with this track because we really wanted to get on it. And it took so long for us to finally release it. So I shout outs to Kobashi and Mo Beats for letting us get on. And it's definitely a song that's near and dear to my heart. And it's the first song that I ever released at a music video festival or a film festival. They had a music video section at the LA film festival, LA Pacific Film Festival,
That's what's up.
with
Putting it out
visual
there.
communications.
Visuals are awesome.
Visual,
Also, she's super pretty. Shout out to my dude Kahuna, man, for setting this up too, because Kahuna set up probably 95% of the talent that comes through. So I'm glad he found your channel and got this set up. Thank
Yo,
you.
shout out to him. Yeah, because I've been traveling a lot, so I appreciate y'all's patience with all the changing time. And they still didn't know what time zone was gonna be, So I appreciate y'all, and I'm glad we finally made it happen. And thank you so much for your time. And if I'm ever in Sacktown, I'll hit you up. And if you're ever in LA, thank you so much for continuing letting the music grow and giving stories and life to the sounds.
Absolutely. And if you ever are in Sacramento, hopefully at some point I'll have a studio. You can stop by the studio. We'll have it in person. You know what I'm saying? And I imagine, do you like to cook?
I do, actually. It's a recent thing.
Okay, nice. Well, I'm sure you have a favorite recipe you be fucking with. And I want to have a little kitchen set up. We're going to have this show called What You Cooking. And we're going to cook a dish. We're going to share the recipe with the audience. And then we're going to sit down, eat, and talk about music.
Okay, bet. Sounds like a plan.
I like to eat.
Oh, yeah. No, I love to cook and I love to eat for sure.
Hell yeah. And learning new recipes is always fire.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to more Filipino recipes, so.
Hey, that's what's up. Mm-hmm. Everybody, I want you to meet Soultree before she becomes super famous. Make sure you click on that link tree. Follow all those social medias. Soultree, you got anybody you want to shout out before we wrap it up?
Yo, I want to shout out to all my people that have been coming to the album release parties, from Chicago to Hawaii, everybody that I've collaborated with. I want to thank my family. And I just want to thank all the loves of my life and all the people that have just really been there for me. I can't really, I'm not gonna go through the whole list. It would take forever, but I'm just really grateful for the family that I have. I really have a strong family community within the arts and within healing and within culture, in so many different cities. So y'all have my heart.
That's what's up, man. Very, very nice to meet you. I hope you have a super successful career. You deserve all the good things that come your way. And I don't think we're going to be live until Tuesday, everyone, with a I think we're going to do another freestyle show. So drop the gems, freestyle show will be
Hell
popping
yeah.
off Friday. If you want to come by and do some freestyles, you're more welcome to. It's just a friendly thing, no competition. You
Okay.
know, we usually go about 6 p.m. Pacific, and you know, maybe an hour or two long. Anubis likes to come through every time, and he's usually at work, and he'll spit a couple bars. It's pretty fire.
Hell yeah. All right, lit. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you again. And if you ever need, you know, to send me a track on IG or something, feel free. I have a list that I put everybody's songs on, and
Okay.
we'll eventually get to it.
All right. Much love, everybody. Thank you so much, and thank you to your show for having me.
Yeah, you got a second home right here at Hip Hop Radar Underground. SGR Crew, take care of yourself this week. If I don't see you, we'll see you again on Friday with This Week in Hip Hop. You see it right there. Boom, boom, boom. I love you, every single one of you. Tell somebody out there you love them, even if it's a stranger. Just be like, I love you, and walk. Just keep walking. You know, it freaks people out, but they'll think about it later, and they'll be like, that was very nice of that person who said they love me. You know, you may have just saved somebody's life. You don't know.
Hell yeah.
All right, I'm out.
What's up?
Peace.
Peace.